Let's talk about Beta and your role there, Partnerships Manager. First, for people who don't know, what is Beta?
Beta is a retail store. We have 16 brick and mortar locations in the US, and we have a retail as a service model, which basically puts more control in the product maker's hands. We work with a lot of direct-to-consumer brands that want to get into retail on their terms.
Right, and you offer this retail as a service, which is these storefronts, which are amazing, where you can actually use the products.
Yes, everything's out of the box. You can try it, touch it, learn about it, and then alongside the product is a digital display with more information, sort of an extension of your website. And then there's sort of a invisible box drawn around your product where we can understand how people are interacting with it offline. So it's sort of a Google Analytics, but for offline experience.
In a little box, in
Yep.
real time, right there.
An invisible box.
Yeah, not a real box, it's an invisible box. Now that's a perfect segue, because today we're going to talk about key KPIs, key performance indicators, and how they're changing with this type of setup. So you are capturing a lot of different data here on the consumer.
Yes.
How is this helping KPIs change?
KPIs are changing, they're also evolving. You know, in traditional retail, the sales per square foot is the metric that everyone's chasing. Sales have always been kind of like the #1 goal for product makers. And I think that that's due to the wholesale model. But we're noticing that marketing metrics are becoming more important, and engagement metrics as well. So understanding what people are saying about your product,
right.
Any questions they have, and educating them, which is especially important for smart home products that have a higher learning curve.
Right, and they're asking those questions right there in the store.
Absolutely, they're asking those questions in the store, and our beta testers, which is what we call our store associates,
Perfect.
They are highly trained by our brand partners. So they act as sort of brand advocates for each one of our partners, and they're explaining and demoing and kind of walking customers through the
Right.
different use cases.
That's great for the brands.
It is great, and not only are they there to kind of provide these demos, but they're actively listening for tidbits and information
Right.
and customer feedback. So when someone exits your website, maybe they wanted your product in a different color, but they won't necessarily tell you that.
Right.
Or they might not have a way to tell you
They
that.
can tell you that, yeah.
So we're listening, we're kind of capturing that qualitative data, that qualitative feedback. And in addition to that, we have quantitative measurable data like impressions, discoveries, demos, and then we record sales as well.
So back to the KPIs, are there KPIs that exist right now that you see that are changing, or that you're adding to?
Yeah, I think that what we're adding is engagement metrics, marketing optimization, market research even, and a lot of our partners are using the information and the insights that they're gathering in our stores to improve their product placement, but also to inform their product development.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. They can go right from the stuff they learn from you guys. So how does the experiential retail help smart home brands in specific?
Well, there's a pretty high learning curve, which I think a lot of people understand about this space. And I think that while smart home, it feels very accessible, for many consumers, it's also very intimidating. So, we can help smart home brands to educate their customers, demo the products, and really understand how it fits into their life.
Yeah, they're using it right there, and they're going to understand it, because lots of times you'll see something in a box and you go, this is a smart home thing, I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah.
But you have that great little tablet next to it too that gives more information.
Exactly.
So what are some examples of what partners have learned from you by working with you?
Yeah, so a couple examples come to mind. We have a new partner, a fairly new partner in our store, very active, very engaged. They're called Eargo. They make nearly invisible hearing aids. They're beautiful.
Ooh.
They work really, really well. But they have a very interesting challenge in that their products cannot be sold in a store. They have to sell. There's some state regulations that make it so that they can only sell direct to consumer online.
Okay.
Or through like the more traditional channels that kind of take a while. But through our channel, they are using us as a showroom. and they're driving a ton of traffic to our stores through online, TV, radio, and their own website advertising. And we're seeing this like huge influx of people come in, and we're able to let them know, like, your marketing is working to drive traffic, but people are very confused. So they are like going back to the drawing board, they're fixing their messaging, they're tweaking it so that people really understand that when they're walking into beta, they won't walk out with an eargo, but they'll be able to try the product and validate, the purchase before they go online and purchase.
And that's so important for that device specifically. And to think that that was only happening online is crazy.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to another, to one of our slides here. So when you compare digital ads to a store placement or a beta placement in our stores, you can see that while we don't have the reach that a Facebook or Google has of 1,500,000 people viewing the ad, it's a much more high quality user. It's a much more high quality customer. It's a smaller segment, but we're also catching them in a different environment, right? When you're on Facebook, when you're on Instagram, you're there to consume the content that you're looking for.
Right.
You're not there necessarily to be swayed by an ad, and it's kind of getting in the way of what you're doing. But customers that walk into our stores are there to discover. So, as you can see here, the engagement that you get with the product, you get none with an online ad. But in our stores, it's much higher. So the funnel's pretty big when you're looking at online, but
it makes a lot of sense.
More qualified funnel in our stores.
And you actually get some numbers, and then they have zero over there. So, so how do you see the customers? How can you help customers envision these products in their actual lives?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we're doing a number of things to kind of facilitate these experiences and put people in this mindset. A couple things come to mind are our partnership with Google. We are actually the first retailer to do experiential showrooming and retail for Google. They came to us, which is an honor to have that happen. And we've created these environments that kind of mimic the home-like vignettes. So we have a living room, and you can kind of see that there's a laptop there and there's a Google Pen. You
can envision your life actually being like this.
Yeah, so you're stepping into these home-like environments and starting to understand, oh, okay, so this could go here and this could go there, and this will work with this device. And understanding like the different use cases too, because when you look at an ad, I mean, there's only so much that you can get. Like, the ad is going to have one example typically, but we can have a home-like a kitchen environment, a bedroom environment, an office environment, and see all these different use cases.
I think that's actually why I love IKEA so much, even though I know it's terrible when it takes forever to get through it. But it is that like walking through an experience, and you're like, yeah, I can see that being my bedroom or my living room, and it makes sense, and it makes you want to buy it. Because you're watching it.
Totally.
Have you noticed anything with products that you are working with, like feedback from them on this whole experience? Like they have been, like are they're super psyched? Are they changing the way that they approach some of their products because of these KPIs?
I think so. I mean, I think Eargo is a great example of that. Another example is Motive. Motive makes a tracker that you wear as a ring. And it tracks your sleep, your activity, your fitness.
I'm gonna write this down. Motive?
Yeah, Motive without an E. We actually have it over at our beta store, which is just behind this the Smart Talks area if you want to check out the ring.
I like it.
But they had this, similar to Warby Parker has a try-on program.
Oh yeah.
Where you can like select the 5 different
that was
styles
huge for them.
You want to try on.
Yeah.
They have a similar sizing kit. And it's really expensive to send these sizing kits to people. They might not understand how to use them. So what they did was they changed their messaging and they started driving people in certain regions to beta stores to get the sizing done at a beta store.
Right.
And actually, the conversion of that customer having a human-to-human experience in the store versus a customer that was getting the sizing kit via online and doing it at home, conversion was much higher for the human-to-human experience.
That was their helpful in to do it the online way, and it made sense, but that's an even better experience with you guys.
Yes.
That's cool. So I think we're gonna look at a product today. We have one in front of us.
Yeah.
Look at it, it's shiny. I've been wanting to talk about it. It's like the elephant in the room, the mini elephant in the room. So what is this right here?
This is the Quirky Writer. It's kind of like a
See, I just want to
novelty
touch it. See,
item.
it's beta. I want to.
You have
test
to
it
touch
out.
it, and you can. It's over on display in our section.
It's
there.
very nice and tactile.
Yeah, we're in the business of haptics. I mean, if you can pick something and touch it and understand how it works and feels,
Yeah.
people just really respond to that. But they've had a lot of success in our stores.
I've been to the stores, and you're in how many locations?
We have 16.
Okay. Yeah, you're growing.
Yeah,
Wow.
we are. We're adding, well, I don't want to say how many, but many more this year.
We'll keep it offline. Yeah, they're great. You should check them out, and it really does make you excited about products again, which is great.